Akpalile, good morning and thanks for your time. What does this ruling mean for you?
This ruling is an important victory. Its meaning is not just for us, it's for people in general in South Africa. It means that the many spaces that are predominantly dominated by the elite in terms of participation can now be more open without the fear of being criminalized, because protest is the one form, one of the few forms that the poor and the working class in South Africa can use to participate in democratic South Africa.
So tell us about your battle. I mean, this fight started for you back in 2015, involving some of your members. Just give us some idea of what happened there and what has led us now to this ruling.
It actually started in 2013. On the 11th of September 2013, members and supporters of the Social Justice Coalition were arrested, and it was 21 members at the time that were arrested. And they were arrested for convening and attending an illegal gathering. And the protest was a protest that was demanding that the then mayor of Cape Town, Patricia de Lille, continues to uphold her promises around issues of poor sanitation in places such as Khayelitsha. And therefore had embarked on that protest to try and get the mayor to commit to her promises. And because there were more than 15 people that were part of that protest, the 21 were arrested, because that was now deemed as an illegal gathering because we hadn't provided notice. Then in 2015, the magistrates court convened, the magistrate court convicted the 10 conveners which were part of that 21, and the 11 were acquitted, those who had just attended the protest. And so the conveners, it was the conveners that were convicted and had criminal records up until the point of the High Court earlier this year, but then now the Constitutional Court yesterday.
Okay, so Akpalile, just give us some idea. You would know better than us. This ruling by the court at the moment says it is not a crime not to give notice, but does it mean that you still don't seek permission for a march or a protest?
There was never people were never really needed to give permission to get permission. It was also never an application process. That's how many people knew it, that you have to apply to protest. It's merely to give notice to the authorities that you will be protesting, and that's what the court has clarified in this particular judgment. And the case was about mainly the limitation of that criminalization and the chilling effect that it has on people, especially poor people who have no other means of participating. And also Equal Education brought an important part into the case, saying that children who do not even have a right to vote use the protest to be able to voice their concerns as well. And so when children get arrested because they just more than 15 of them, then that puts trauma on children, and it has a chilling effect on their, and it affects the rights of children in terms of participating.
So does this mean now, as we speak, there is no such thing as an illegal protest, an illegal march, or an illegal gathering?
Well, what the court has said is that to deal with many illegalities that may happen in a protest, the Gatherings Act without Section 12(1)(a) is sufficient. What the court has said is that the whole Section 12(1)(a) is unconstitutional, and the other sections that are part within the Gatherings Act are sufficient. This does not mean that the Gatherings Act is a perfect act in itself. There's many other actions within the Gatherings Act that are problematic. Even the definition of a demonstration or a gathering is very broad, and we try to raise this issue up even with the President of South Africa, because we know before this particular judgment that his morning walks were also illegal because he never provided notice, and those were political, and there were politics that were discussed there. So that's how broad the definition of a gathering is. And it's up to Parliament now to look into this particular act as a whole, and to try and deal with the many other problematic issues that still exist within the Gatherings Act.
Okay, thank you. So more work to be done. Thanks very much. There's Social Justice Coalition's Axolile Matshwala.